first circuit in this workout, we're gonna have 2 kettlebells. We're doing hinges today, so we switch back over to the hinge movement to start us off. If you have a hex bar, you have a straight bar, and you wanna do that, that's great. We started with dual kettlebells, just kind of ease into it. We've got some new folks coming in, and then also just kind of ease everybody back in from the squats to the hinges. So, grab 2 kettlebells. All right, we're gonna find those big toes. We're gonna get our weight even in our feet. We're gonna hinge, shoot our butt back. Try to keep those arms even with the legs, and then when we feel that stretch, we're gonna scoop back up. Okay, again, weights even in the toes. Shoot those hips back. We're gonna feel that big stretch here in the back of the legs and the glutes. When we feel that big stretch, we're gonna scoop back up underneath us, okay? Trying to push this, it's gonna be a lot on your upper back, holding those weights back. We wanna make sure those arms don't drift forward here. That creates a lot of distance, but a bigger lever arm, and it's gonna really stress our low back and make it really hard to keep in the hamstrings. So keep those hips back, keep those arms back, reach for the ankle bone, feel that big stretch in the hamstrings, feel those glutes stretch this way, the tailbone goes back. When we are about to lose tension, we scoop back underneath us. Then we're gonna grab a ball. We've got a good setup here with the wall that we can throw on. If you've got a ball that you can throw outside into a brick or center block wall, don't throw the ball against your wall. If you don't have a wall to throw on, you can just throw it in the air. Find open space and just throw it in the yard, or throw it down a piece of turf, somewhere open. You can just throw the ball. We're going to take 2 steps laterally, and then we're going to turn and throw the ball to the wall. So 1, 2, launch, reset. We're not in a hurry to reset, so take your time. Get set. Ball starts on the outside. We're going to push off our outside foot to move towards the direction we're going. So I'm pushing off my left to move right. Step, step, use a little momentum. So we're trying to build up the momentum in that lateral shift to transfer into the ball when we throw. Step, step. Okay? We're going to do 5 each side there. So we're going to do 10 to 12 hinges. Again, trying to push that weight, get real heavy, get a big stretch. Okay, and then immediately going into 5 on each side of the med ball throws as hard as you can. We're going to complete that for 4 working sets. I suggest that you get some light kettlebells, some core activation in your warm-up, and then as we ramp up, maybe 2 or 3 sets, we're going to have our working set. So we'll have our weight that we select, which is going to be the heaviest weight that we can do for a working set, and then start with the balls throwing against the wall. Have fun. So for our second circuit in this workout, we're going to have a landmine press. We're going to go pretty heavy with this, so make sure that you've got your landmine. If you're just using a corner, make sure that you're packing some towels down in there, and you really have a secure base. Or you can use the sleeve like we're using, or the one plate base. Whatever you're using, we're going to have the landmine against that corner. Then I'm going to have both hands on the landmine. I've got it off center to my right side, keeping my abs engaged, my pelvis neutral. I'm going to press up directly overhead, and then I'm going to bring it straight down to my left side. So I'm going side to side, straight up, opposite side, straight up, opposite side. We're going to do 16 total. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 16 total, or 8 on each side. As we get heavier, especially later on in the set and later on in later sets, we're going to drop our hips down. Drop our hips, explode. This will also allow us to load more weight. So you're allowed to use your legs. Make sure that you're not using your spine, and make sure that you're not leaning too far into the weight. After that, we're going to come here. I've got 3 weights set up. I'm using kettlebells here. Dumbbells are absolutely fine with this. We're going to go from heavy to light. So we're always starting on the heavy side and moving light. And we're going to do simple lawnmower rows. So my foundation is in my legs. I sit down in my legs. My lead elbow is on my lead knee, and I'm using that for support. I'm going to hold the kettlebell and I'm going to row my hip back down for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to move to the next lighter weight. So moving down in weight, lighter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to move down to the lightest weight for 5. And I used all my left hand there. At that point, I'm going to come back, switch back to my other side. Now my lead arm is still on the lead elbow or the lead knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with my right. Come back down to the next weight, 5 with the right. Come back down to the next weight, 5 with the right. So 5, 5, 5 with one arm. Go back to the heavy end, 5, 5, 5 with the lighter arm. Okay. Make sure to sit down in your legs. They're your support. We'll take 2 to 3 minutes rest after this. And again, we're trying to push the weight on this. So we want to make this heavy. We want to make these weights heavy as well. You're only doing 5 reps, okay? So let's try to push that. Make sure your foundation is solid and make sure you're pushing that weight. For our last circuit in this workout, I have my water back here. If you have access to one of these are fantastic. We're gonna work on a lot of stability in the hip and the core. If you don't have one of these, we can make it a little more chaotic by having chaos bands where we have just the bands attached to the dumbbell or kettlebell holding on here, so there's a lot of movement here. You can do the same thing with a barbell hold and that Zercher hold, okay, and then you can attach bands. I love the water because it's simple and it really is chaotic. And what you're gonna find is, even though this weighs about 25 pounds, so not a lot, it's gonna be super challenging and for our hip stability, and that's something we're gonna really hammer down on. So I've got the water bag up high. If you're holding the barbell down here, if you're holding the kettlebells or dumbbells with the bands, hold down here low. All right, so here, I'm gonna lean forward a little bit in my stance. My right foot's up, I'm finding the big toe of my right foot. Now, I'm not just standing up and trying to replace my left foot, my ground foot quickly. I'm trying to lean forward, get tension, and I'm pushing down into the box before I ever step up. My core's engaged, my quad and my glute are engaged, my abs are on, and I'm gonna stand up all the way, and then I can replace my foot. You don't have to replace your foot. That would be a progression to make it a lot harder, okay? Lean forward, engage the big toe, drive down, core's on, stand up, and then control the descent. Stand up, control the descent. So I'm not jerking, I'm not trying to be fast like that. I'm not all over the place. You may lose your balance a little bit, and that's okay. Our goal here is to focus on that hip stabilizing, that core stabilizing the pelvis while we drive ourselves up in a chaotic situation. We're gonna do 10 on each side. After that, we're going to our chins. I'm trying to get neutral chins here. So we don't want an overhand grip, a pull-up. We don't want an underhand grip, a chin-up. We want neutral chins. So our palms are gonna be facing each other. We're gonna get a big extension, and we're gonna pull ourselves up. Our goal here is to pull from our lap, from our shoulder, and pull our elbows down. A good cue is, don't think about pulling yourself up to the bar. Think about pulling the bar down to you. Now, there's gonna be varying levels of ability with this. If you need to, slide a bench or a box underneath you so you can use your legs to push off, okay? You can put a band, that's okay. If you have one of the assist machines, you can do that. If you can rep these things out and you're really strong at the chin up, I would really like you to add some weight here. Our neutral grip is the strongest grip that we have when we're doing these chins, so I'm giving you the most mechanical advantage I can. I would love for you to hold a ball between your feet, put a belt on, add weight to it, okay? Work on those eccentrics. Make these chin-ups challenging. I want 6 to 8 reps. If that's really, really hard and you need to use the assistants, awesome, do it. If that's really, really easy and you need to weigh yourself down, awesome, do it. Wherever you're at, make sure that you're challenging yourself for between 6 to 8 reps. At that point, we're gonna run through those 2 exercises together, all right? So we'll do 4 sets of 8 to 10 here with the water or the chaos bands, and then we're gonna do 6 to 8 reps, 4 sets of that on the chin-ups, okay? And we'll rest between about 2 minutes between those, okay? Then, after that, we've got a lot of folks that wanted a little cardio finisher, so I've put them on the Airdyne bike for 20 calories. I know I'm the worst, the Airdyne bike's terrible. I love the Airdyne bike. If you have the ability to get on one, I know it sucks, I know you hate it, get on it and do 20 calories. Do the things that are uncomfortable, do the things that make you, that are hard for you, okay? With that, we're just gonna do a suitcase carry, okay? So, get on that bike, hammer out 20 calories as fast as you possibly can, really, really push it, okay? And then we're gonna have a suitcase carry. You're gonna walk about 50 yards with the weight in your right hand, and then come back 50 yards with your left hand. If you don't have 50 yards, you can do 25, whatever. We're trying to walk a total of 50 yards. Remember, on our suitcase carry, we have 1 kettlebell. It's on one side. We're trying to not let it pull us towards the side of the weight. We're trying not to stick our hip out and let it rest. We're not letting it swing as we walk. We're not loosey-goosey. We're keeping all this midsection tight. We have a nice proud posture. We're doing a little march and we're going heel to toe, really feeling yourself push off that big toe. Don't let that weight roll off to the sides. And we'll complete 4 rounds of that. All right? have fun, y'all. Leave some comments in the underneath here if you have questions, whatever. All right, have a great time. Appreciate it.